in this state of Louisiana when I was 15 years old. I've been here a total of 37 years, and I'm 53 years old. Those people who have a sinners as juvenile, raise your hand. These men here were actually sinners as a juvenile.
Problem is that many of the children who end up in adult court for serious crimes end up there without having the type of transfer hearing that the Children's Code envisioned. And what I mean by that is a transfer hearing at which the juvenile court judge finds that there is no reasonable opportunity for rehabilitation. In other words, this child can't be rehabilitated, and that's just not happening. There's a grave misconception about how transfer actually operates. Unfortunately, most people believe that every child gets a meaningful transfer hearing before they are transferred to adult court. That does not happen. There is a conflict between the continued custody hearing process and the transfer hearing process. Continued custody must happen within 3 days of arrest. Once the court finds probable cause for certain enumerated crimes, and they're the more serious crimes, the child is automatically transferred to adult court. The juvenile court loses jurisdiction. And that is before any transfer hearing could or would take place. So it renders the right to a transfer hearing meaningless. Once a child is transferred to adult court, the juvenile court forever loses jurisdiction. It remains within the jurisdiction of the criminal court, that is the adult court. So if information is discovered that would indicate that this child should not have been transferred, for example, there's mental illness, mental retardation, or other issues that clearly would require treatment and make that child amenable to rehabilitation, there's no opportunity to correct that error. In many cases, attorneys are meeting their clients either just before the continued custody hearing or within a day of it. That does not allow the time for either the attorney or the court to request the child's school records, to see if there's been an IEP, to see if there have been any identified exceptionalities. So before a child is transferred, there's no opportunity to learn, are they mentally ill, are they mentally retarded, are there any other issues that should be brought to bear on the decision to transfer. Before they can be transferred to adult court, must have a transfer hearing. And the Children's Code actually outlines very thoroughly the types of things a court should look at in a transfer hearing. 15-year-olds, on the other hand, once a judge finds probable cause at a continued custody hearing, which happens 3 days after arrest, that child is automatically transferred to adult court for a number of enumerated crimes, and there's no opportunity to look at the specific list of very important items that a transfer hearing requires a court to look at. There are two reasons that transfer to adult court is bad for the community, and first and foremost is that it does nothing to enhance public safety, and in fact, study after study shows that it does exactly the opposite. Children who end up in adult court come out far worse than they were before they went in, because there is no rehabilitation. Remember, in adult court, the purpose is punishment, whereas in juvenile court, the purpose is rehabilitation. In addition, it's far more costly to incarcerate a child than to rehabilitate them and reintegrate them into their community.